This is a review of the Fuel iON iPhone 5 and 5S magnetic wireless charging system. In the package, from one side you'll see the stand that the case and phone will sit in to charge. And if you flip this over, on the opposite side here, you'll see the case that's designed to protect your iPhone and also to help facilitate the magnetic charging system. Inside the box, you'll find the Fuel iON case itself. This case is designed and used as a standard Apple Lightning cable, so it's made for iPhone. That means that this connector here has a chip in it that allows the iPhone to recognize it's a valid connection using an Apple type plug. You'll have a extension cable that's 5 inches long. It extends the headphones because the jack is recessed deeply into the case. You have a USB to micro USB cable. It's a cable that plugs into the back of this stand that will take power from your USB AC wall charging adapter. It doesn't come with one. You're expected to use the adapter that comes with your phone or any other 5 volt 1 to 2 amp adapter that you have. The cable is 37 inches long. In addition, here you'll have a brief user instruction guide that gives some brief instructions. It's important to point out that this is a high quality product and it comes with a 2-year warranty. What's unique about this, as you'll see here, is a series of pins. They're gold plated. They're made up with the back of this case. As you can see here, there's a gold plated circuit on the back of this, and this and the case are magnetic, so they stick together very well. If you flip this around, you'll see on the back side of here a micro USB port. That's where this cable plugs in, and the other end would plug into your existing AC wall charging unit that came with your phone. Obviously I don't have the phone in here yet, but I've already used this and put it in there. I just want to show this. It is magnetic. Stick it up close to the stand and it snaps into place and it locks in there. When it gets in there, it self-aligns itself, and these circuits are connected to these pins, and it begins the charging process, and it charges your phone very quickly. For safety purposes, to verify that there was no voltage or open current on these pins when nothing was on there, I actually took a very expensive Fluke volt ohm meter and went over the pins and checked them out, and they're not hot, which means there's no voltage or current on them unless this case is involved in the circuit. Inside of this case, you'll see this piece of foam on the back. That's to cushion the phone and protect it. And this little connector here actually slides down. What you want to do is you want to set the phone in there with the top and engage it. Push it down inside the case, and as you see, it fits in very nicely. Push up the bottom, and that plugs in the lightning connector. So now, when you want to charge this, you'd simply place this onto the stand when the stand's plugged in. As you go around this, you'll see that the volume buttons and the mute switch are exposed. The antennas on the side are exposed to have good reception. On the top side, you'll see the power off-on switch. On the back side, you'll see the flash, the rear-facing microphone, and the rear-facing camera. And as you come around here and look at the bottom, you'll see here that you have the micro USB connector. That's used when you want to connect this to your computer, or if you want, you can plug in any micro USB cable, plug it into this, and plug the other end into an AC wall charger or car charger, and charge your phone using a micro USB cable instead of the built-in lightning connector. Because it's in here, you don't want to have another second lightning connector, because that would mean 2 circuits trying to talk to the Apple device. People have stated that you have to take this out of the case to charge it with a cable. That's absolutely not true. You can plug in any micro USB connector into this and charge it, and also plug it in. I want to point out that this stand is weighted. It weighs in at about 4.87 ounces, and it has a nice rubber bottom on it so it doesn't slide around. Also, I want to point out that this case without the phone weighs in at 1.66 ounces, so it doesn't add a lot of weight to the phone. There is about a half an inch of an extension, and because of that, if you look at this, the headphone jack is greatly recessed in there. That's why it comes with this extension cable, and you plug that in there, and now you can use your existing headphones. I've used several cases like this. It's a common issue with cases like this. And I don't mind this cable because I just plug it onto my headphones and leave it plugged in onto my headphones all the time. So whenever I want to use it, I just plug it in the case. Another point is that if you look at this at the bottom here, you can see that the speakers are covered up on the bottom of the phone, and you'll see here vents coming out that allow the sound to come out the front. I've used several cases like this, and the music quality is actually, in my opinion, better than it is coming out the bottom. I would like to point out that while the corners are all protected for the phone, there are some edges here that are exposed, but the odds of dropping it that way and having it hit are kind of hit or miss. I will say one thing: I do have a protective glass screen on this phone. I've been using one for over a year and a half on this phone, and I found that I really like those types of screens. I've used a style of case like this for quite some time. I switch back and forth between this style and a OtterBox Defender case, but I always leave that glass screen on there. I strongly recommend that people who use a case like this get one of those screens because it is highly protective. It allows you to lay your phone face down and not worry about it getting scratched and bumped. It does a good job. I want to point out, as I mentioned, there's a very powerful magnet here in the back of the case and one here on the stand. Here's a pair of fingernail clippers, and you can see it's quite strong. And here on the bottom of the phone is a very strong magnet. It'll actually pick up the phone with this chain on the clippers. So that's something to consider about where you put this device when you're storing it. Let's say that I came home from work and my phone was low. Matter of fact, right now it's about 29%, and I wanted to charge it real quickly. It's 28%. I'm just going to take this and snap it on there. I actually let go of it. It snapped on there, and you can see that the battery light came on and the phone's automatically charging. It's simply that easy. I'd also like to point out that I noticed right away when I used this before, it charges very quickly. It charges every bit as fast as using the AC wall plug. The nice thing about it is, if you want to go in your room at night, you don't have to fumble around with a small lightning connector to plug it in. You simply snap it on there, it just sucks it right in, and it's charging automatically. It's very simple and fast and easy to use. I just wanted to show you a side view of the phone on the stand, and I tell you what, it is really on there. It's not going anyplace. I'm actually banging it on the table and it's not moving. So it's a nice tight stand. Here you can see I have it in the iON fuel case. I'm going to take the cable connector that came with the stand, plug it in. You heard the phone beep. You can see it's charging. So charging with this cable using a computer or any AC wall charger or car charger is easily done just using a micro USB cable. I do want to point out though that you'll notice one thing: the phone is not syncing with my computer, so the data connection from the phone to the computer is not working. Because of that, I'm going to deduct a star. What that means is if you want to sync your phone to your computer, you have to do it one of two ways. Take it out of the case and plug in an Apple cable, a lightning connector, or sync it wirelessly. I want to point out here, you see my iPhone syncing. I have the phone plugged in with the micro USB cable, and it is syncing, but it's syncing wirelessly. So you can set your phone up to sync wirelessly, and when the phone's being powered, it's synced, and you can see how quickly it's synced to the computer. Overall, I really like this charging system. I like how you just walk up and snap it in place, and it sinks in. It does it really easily. You don't even have to really worry about it. It's not position sensitive. It works very well. I am going to deduct 1 star for the case for a couple of reasons. 1, it doesn't come with a belt clip. 2, it won't sync with the micro USB cable. It does sync wirelessly. That doesn't bother me, but for some people it may be a concern. And 3, I do highly recommend that you get a protective glass screen cover. It doesn't come with the case, and I'm not sure I'd use it without the protective screen cover. With it on there, I feel like it's adequately protected. This is a good product. It's a great concept. I like how it charges. I'm going to rate it at 4 stars. This review is done by JJ CEO. I would like to point out that I received a sample for test and evaluation, and I didn't promise a review, but I promised if I gave one it would be fair and honest.